Alfie and Charlie at breakfast. BBC Newcastle. Radio for the North East.
BBC Newcastle. It's 10 to 8. You're listening to Alfie and Charlie at breakfast with Mick Lowe's in for Alfie. Now, there's a new treatment for a rare genetic blood condition. It affects around 140 people in the UK, and it's been approved by the government's Specialist Advisory Group. But now, the Health Secretary wants the National Institute for Clinical Excellence to undertake another review.
That's led campaigners, including a Newcastle professor, to ask the government to reconsider its decision. A petition will be delivered to the Prime Minister later today. Professor Neil Sheerin from Newcastle University Medical School is also a kidney specialist. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning.
Tell us all about this condition. I mean, it's a fairly rare one, isn't it?
I mean, it's a rare disease. As you say, it affects maybe only less than 150 people in the UK. But when it affects people, it's a very severe disease, and in the majority of patients will cause either kidney failure or, in the worst cases, patients to die from this disease.
Are there people, and if so, how many people in the North East affected by this condition?
Well, certainly with the Newcastle kidney unit alone, we're looking after somewhere in the region of 6 or 8 patients with this disease. And some of them are on this new treatment as part of clinical studies. Others, unfortunately, have developed kidney failure and are on dialysis. And because of the nature of this disease, we can't transplant these patients, which is the best treatment that we would normally have for people with kidney failure. But this disease will tend to come back after a transplant.
How does the North East compare with other areas in the country?
Well, I mean, the research in the North East was one of the first unit really to recognise the genetic basis of this disease, and has been very active in research in this area. But in terms of the patients, we have the same sort of patient mix, and there are probably similar patients in every unit across the UK affected similarly.
How important is this drug then?
Well, the clinical trials that we were part of here have really shown that this drug revolutionises the treatment. We do have a traditional treatment which works in some cases, but is very intensive and difficult to deliver. This new treatment really revolutionises the life, provides the possibility for people to live a relatively normal life.
So it's been approved by one government body, but the Health Secretary is worried about the cost.
Yes, it was reviewed by a committee called aHUS, which is specifically set up to look at rarer diseases, and they recommended that the evidence was there and that this should be funded. However, the Health Secretary has asked for further evaluation from NICE to deal with the economic aspects of this disease. It is an expensive treatment, there's no doubt about that, but it does revolutionise the lives of people who are treated.
But those people who are currently being administered this drug will still continue to get it, I understand?
Yes, we hope so, yes.
And will Newcastle be the national treatment centre? Will we, be the epicentre here if the drug is approved?
Well, that was the plan. The proposal that was put through to the Department of Health was to centralise the treatment and investigation of people with this disease here in Newcastle. We already run a genetic screening service for people with this disease, and the idea is that we would give advice to other units and be able to allow treatment with this drug eculizumab to be delivered with parity across the UK.
OK, let's hear what the Department of Health have got to say about this. This was their statement from a spokesperson.
We understand this news will be disappointing for patients who suffer from atypical hemolytic uremic syndrome, but we need to make sure NHS resources are being used wisely. We have asked NICE to further explore eculizumab's suitability and provide guidance to the NHS.
So this petition will be delivered. How do you see this progressing?
I mean, even though it's only a small number of patients, that obviously they're very disappointed in this decision, and what was going to be potentially a life-changing treatment, it may now not be available to them. So, understandably, it's caused a great deal of anxiety with this patient group. So, we hope that through due process, this decision will be revised and this treatment will become available. Is
there a plan B? Is there an alternative?
Well, I think that we're still waiting for a decision. The Department of Health hasn't said no to this. They're waiting for further evaluation. So hopefully with time that they will see the benefits of this drug, of eculizumab, and allow it to be provided. Individual patients can apply for treatment, but there are stories of people who are being not able to access the treatment. So having a national system would allow access to this drug to all people and avoid the situation where some people can get it and others can't.
Okay, thanks for your time, Neil. That's Neil Sheerin from Newcastle University Medical School, and we'll keep you in touch with developments on that story.